Hello friends, in previous lecture we studied subgroup and some steps for to show the subgroup. Now in this lecture we are going to study cyclic groups. Here Z with addition is cyclic group with generator one and minus one and minus one. Now Zn is also cyclic subgroup with addition modulo n operation with generators 1 and minus 1, that means inverse of this, and minus 1 means n minus 1 in this group. Minus 1 means additive inverse of 1 and this is equal to n minus 1, because here minus 1 plus addition modulo n minus 1, we get 0. Okay. Now here another cyclic Z8. Here Z8 is a cyclic group generated by 1. It is also generated by 3. It is also generated by 5 and also generated by 7. These are generators. Now here these generators Zn contains 0, 1, 2 up to 7. Generators are those elements, those integers, these are relatively prime to 8 and less than 8. So 1 is relatively prime to 8, 3 is also relatively prime to 8, 5 is also relatively prime, and 7 is also relatively prime to 8. Now U10. It contains one set of integers less than 10 and relatively prime to 10. It is a group under multiplication modulo 10. Here 1, 3, then 7, 9. And this is generated by 3. This is generated by 3. 3 is a generator, then its inverse. Inverse of 3 is 7. 3 into 7 is equal to 1. 1 is identity, that means 21, that means multiplication modulo 10, we get 1. So 7 is also generator. 7 is also generator of this group. Now here one theorem. Criterion for a raised to I is equal to a raised. Let G be a group and A if A has an infinite order, then all distinct powers of A are distinct elements of G. Distinct elements of G. If it has a finite order, if it has finite order, say n, finite order, say n, then a square and so on, a raised to n minus 1, a raised to n minus 1, and a raised to r is equal to a raised to j if and only if n divides I minus j. See here, G be a group and A belongs to G. If A has infinite order, then all distinct powers of A are distinct elements of G. And if it has a finite order, say n, then G contains, G contains n elements, and these n elements are of this type, and these are distinct. These n elements are distinct, and AI is equal to AJ, A raised to I is equal to AJ if and only if n divides I minus j. See here, let G be a group and A belongs to G if A has an infinite order. If A has an infinite order. If A has an infinite order, that means A has an infinite order, that means there is no n such that A raised to n is equal to E. A raised to n is equal to E. Now, if suppose, since all powers of A are not distinct, since A raised to I is equal to A raised to j, this gives A raised to I minus j is equal to E. A raised to I minus j is equal to E. That means here I minus j must be equal to 0 because there is no n such that A raised to n is equal to E. There is no positive integer n such that A raised to n is equal to I. That means here A raised to I minus j is equal to E. Therefore, I minus j is equal to 0, and this gives I is equal to j. That means these two powers, A raised to I is equal to A raised to j if I is equal to j. That means if A has an infinite order, then all distinct powers of A are distinct. All distinct powers of A are distinct. Now, here, take A has an finite order. Now, if A has a finite order, say n, say n, that means order of A is equal to n. We will prove this. A set or a group generated by A is equal to A square and so on, A raised to n minus 1. The elements these elements E A square n minus 1 are distinct elements. Now, for if A raised to I is equal to A raised to J, A raised to I is equal to A raised to J with I greater than J, then A raised to I minus J is equal to identity. A raised to I minus J is equal to identity. See here clearly, here I minus J less than n, because here A raised to I, A raised to J belongs to this, which is contradiction. Which is contradiction to n is the least positive integer such that A raised to n is equal to E, because order of A is equal to n, that means A raised to n is equal to E, n is the least positive integer, and I minus J less than n, here I minus J less than n, here A raised to n is equal to E, here also A raised to I minus J is equal to E. This gives A raised to, here I is equal to I minus J is equal to 0, and this implies I is equal to J. Now, if A raised to K belongs to this, a cyclic group generated by A, then by division algorithm, there exist Q and R such that K is equal to NQ plus R, and R is greater than or equal to 0 and less than n. Now here a raised to k is equal to a raised to n cube plus r. And here this is equal to a raised to n raised to cube a raised to r. This is equal to a raised to n means identity, e raised to cube a raised to r. This is equal to a raised to r. This is a raised to r. R is less than n. That means belongs to this set. This belongs to. And clearly for any k, a raised to k is equal to a raised to r, and this belongs to a raised to k belongs to this, a group generated by this. That means here a raised to n minus 1. Now here, now we want to show if a raised to I is equal to a raised to j, then n divides I minus j. N divides I minus j. Now assume a raised to r is equal to a raised to j. A raised to r is equal to a raised to j. We want to show n divides I minus j. N divides I minus j. Here a raised to I is equal to a raised to j. That means a raised to I minus j is equal to identity. Here I minus j greater than 0. I minus j greater than 0. Again by division algorithm, I minus there exists q division algorithm for I minus j and n. There exists q and r such that I minus j is equal to qn plus r. Now a to the power I minus j is equal to a to the power qn plus r. Here a raised to I minus j is equal to e. Here a to the power n to the power q into a to the power r. Here e is equal to, this gives e to the power q, a to the power r, and this gives a to the power r is equal to e. Now a to the power r is equal to e, that means r must be 0 because order of a is n. Order of a is n. Now r must be 0, therefore here I minus j is equal to qn. Clearly n divides I minus j. Now conversely, suppose I minus j suppose n divides I minus j. Suppose n divides I minus j. Then I minus j is equal to n into k. N into k. This gives a raised to I minus j is equal to a raised to n k. This is equal to a raised to n k. A raised to n is identity, e raised to k, and this is the e. A raised to I minus j is equal to e. This gives a raised to I is equal to a raised to j. A raised to I is equal to a raised to j. That means converse also true. If a raised to I is equal to a raised to j, then n, if and only if n divides I minus j. Now, one corollary depend on this theorem. Here, corollary. A raised to k is equal to e, then order of a divides k. A raised to k is equal to e, then implies order of a divides k. See here, a raised to k is equal to e. E means can be written a to the power 0. Now, a raised to k is equal to a raised to 0. Here, order of a suppose order of a is equal to n. By above theorem, n divides k minus 0, I minus j, k minus 0. That means n divides, n means order of a divides k. Order of a divides k. Now, one theorem, generators of cyclic group theorem. Of cyclic group. Let G be a cyclic group. Let G be a cyclic group generated by A. Let G be a cyclic group of order n. Cyclic group of order n. Then G is also generated by A to the power k if and only if GCD of k n is equal to 1. GCD of k n is equal to 1. Here, if GCD of Kn is equal to 1, there exists an integer such that 1 can be written, 1 is equal, there exists integer u and v such that 1 can be written ku plus nv, ku plus nv. See here, a raised to 1 is equal to a raised to ku plus nv. Okay, this can be written a raised to ku into a raised to n v. This is equal to a raised to ku into e raised to v. This is a raised to ku into e. Here a is equal to a raised to ku. This can be written a raised to ku can be a raised to k to the power u, and this belongs to, that means a belongs to a raised to k. That means all powers of a, that means all powers of a are in a raised to k. The all powers of a, G is a subgroup generated by this way, and so G is a subset of this a raised to k, number 1. Number 1. Now, conversely here, now a raised to k, a raised to k belongs to G, a raised to k belongs to G, and so a raised to k, all powers of a raised to k also belongs to G, is a subset of G always. Number 2, and this gives G is equal to, that means here if G is a cyclic group generated by A with order n, then a raised to k is also generator of G if k is relatively prime to n. If k is relatively prime to n. Now, here conversely, suppose here GCD of k and n is equal to d greater than 1. Here d divides k, that means k is equal to td, and d divides n, that means n is equal to sd. Okay, n is equal to sd. Here a to the power plus a to the power k to the power s, a to the power k to the power s is equal to, here a to the power td s, here a to the power sd to the power t. Here a to the power sd means a to the power n raised to t. here a to the power n, G is a cyclic group generated by n, that means a to the power n is identity, e to the power t, this gives e. Okay, this gives order of a raised to k is less than or equal to s, and s is less than n. That means order of a raised to k is less than n. That means a raised to k is not a generator. That means a raised to k is not a generator of G. If GCD of k and n is d, d is greater than 1, then a raised to k is not generator. If GCD k and n is equal to 1, then a raised to k is a generator of G. Then a raised to k is a generator of G. Okay? We stop here. Thank you.